Assalamu alaikum, wonderful subscribers. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel platform, This Nice Gambia. So, right now we are at the instant border between Gambia and Senegal at a village called Sabi. So, guys, stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's just a 5 or 15 or 20-minute walk to Senegal. So, stay tuned, we go together.
Yes, as we said, nice Gambia gonna travel all over the Gambia, all over beautiful, nice place. And right at the moment, we are waiting between Gambia and Casamas. So I remember that we are in Basse and we are in a village called Sabi. Sabi, as is at the border, waiting between Gambia. As I'm standing right, my left foot is in the Gambia, our motherland, the greater land, the sweet land, and my right foot is in my motherland, which is Casamas. My father is a Gambian. My mother is an Senegalese Casamas. So that shows us we are intercross, we are intermarried. Peace and love, stability within between Gambia and Casamas. And we should say no between African borders. Like I am free right now. I just need to for me to pull out my um,
Identity cards.
identity to show it out to the GAM immigration. Why is my identity? And then a lot of things is written between Gambia and Casamas, right? So I don't so old. I was so old to my viewers out there, but the immigration will not disturb me because they knows that I'm a Gambian through by talking, and then everyone is welcome to. So big up to Musa Silla, right? The one that hosting nice Gambia all over Basse. So right now, Musa, know a lot of people you watch Musa's video and you will inspire from a brother Musa. So he will take us through the journey, right? And I will be behind the camera and Princess of Nice Gambia and Musa, the hosting Lucky Child and Princess, Nice Gambia and everyone in Basse. So let's work together to our neighboring country here, Gambia, to Casamas, Senegal, our greater land, our motherland.
This is the eastern border between Gambia and Senegal in Sabi URR. So we're still in Sabi basically. This is this is all the way to where the truck is over there is still Sabi, and
It's still
behind,
inside
yeah,
Gambia.
it's still inside Gambia. So at the front, just a little bit to the front, is Senegal. So this highway was named after Alaji Basiru Jawara, who's a native of Sabi. He's been dubbed the Gambia's richest man for many years. So he's a native of Sabi, and this highway all the way to Basse has been named after him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from here to Basse, yeah?
yeah, from here to Basse. It's all the same highway, all the way into Senegal. But then in Senegal, it's not. The highway isn't named after him.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
named after him.
yeah, it wasn't named after him.
Then, if you cross the border, which village do you first have in Senegal?
Well, the village between Senegal
And Gambia.
or after Gambia is Bajar. So it's a little village actually. It's not that much of a big village. So Sabi is, you could call it Sabi in fact a town maybe.
Then,
So yeah, it's a very big village. So maybe you could call it a town, or we still call it a
when
village.
coming on tablets, I see different type of name. But you said it's still inside Sabi.
Yes, it is still inside of Sabi. So some names in these
Are you a
uh,
native of Sabi at the first place?
yes, yes.
Then
My
what can you tell us about Sabi?
Well, my father is from Sabi, was born in Sabi and raised in Sabi. And we are one of our family, which is the Samusila Kunda. It's basically like the father of the village. So we are the fathers of the village. That's the title that we've been given. That's our family. Also, Sabi has been around for very, very, very long time now. So it was when my great grandfather was named Sambu, so Sambu
Okay.
Silla. So he basically migrated from allegedly Mali and came to settle over here. And he didn't found the village, but when he came, the people he met here, just a couple of families, they basically made him the elder of the village, so the father of the village, and that's how our family became the fathers
Fathers of the
of the
village.
village. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So can you tell us about the ladle? How did the name Sabi came? Or you don't
On
know anything about that?
Honestly, I don't know how Sabi came about. I, here's what happened. I was born, and then they said this is Sabi, and
Okay.
then from that day on, that's all I know.
Okay.
It's Sabi, and we are. It's a very interesting place to be in
Mm.
because lots of business happen in Sabi, and lots of business obviously happens in Basse. So as you can see, it's quite. I found so there's over all over to my right. The over to my right, I have a farm. It's quite far from here, but it's on the line of the border. So we farmed there last year. We basically cultivated groundnut there last year. So in that farm, about 2/3 of the farm was in Senegal. It was in Gambia, and a third was in Senegal.
Senegal.
So it was an interesting place to be in because
Yeah, sure.
if the Senegalese, if we had to move even something like a motorbike into that far end, the Senegalese end of the farm, and that wasn't, we didn't have clearance for to move it into Senegal, then we would get in trouble. Our bike would be seized. So it's an interesting place to be in if you, especially if you're doing business, because you're always in and out, and sometimes you cannot tell. Some places you can be able to differentiate and distinguish
Between.
between the two countries. Between two countries, you can see the border
Here's
or
the
know the
border.
borderline.
Borderline, yeah?
Yeah. So now we are officially into uh,
Senegal.
Senegal. So you can see these trucks actually. So some of these trucks carrying fuel, petrol, gas oil. They are from, some of them are all the way from Mali actually. From
Mali,
us,
yeah.
yeah, from Guinea, I've been told.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are coming all the way from Guinea, and they go all the way to the port in Banjul to get fuel, and then come back again
To Senegal.
to Senegal, and then across Senegal and get into Guinea.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the Guinean number plate.
exactly. That's a
That's the
Guinean. Yeah,
number
that's a
plate.
Guinean number plate. So what that it's interesting because the distance from Sabi right here. So if you look at the map, you'd see that Gambia is just a long stretch, but the tip of Gambia usually is very close to the end of Senegal. So
So,
the border between Gambia,
Senegal.
this border here, the border between Gambia and Senegal, and Guinea is actually not far from each other that much. So that's why it's easier for them to come through this way from
through this
Guinea.
way.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So they don't have to go from Guinea. They don't have to go all the way to Dakar. So that's why some of them prefer to just come from Guinea, and the border from Guinea, like I said, and Senegal is not that actually that far. And
Yeah.
then they come in through Gambia, go all the way to Combo.
Yeah. So within between Gambia and Senegal, it's like within between is a farmland. People
Yeah,
are using it for like farmland,
yeah,
It's like the both side of it.
both
yeah.
sides of it.
You'd be actually surprised how many Gambians are farming in Senegal.
Senegal. Sure.
Yeah, a lot of families in Sabi actually have their farmlands in Senegal,
In Senegal.
which is to tell you, I mean, these borders were created by colonizers.
So
It
are you saying
wasn't.
that, like having a farmland in Senegal is not that more difficult or what?
It's not that it is difficult. It's actually been in the family. The family was the one are the people who owned that land. They were the only ones who owned those lands, and these families are Gambians. The Gambian families, not Senegalese families. So, for
Okay.
example, we have my family. We have quite a lot of land in Senegal. Actually, it may be the case that we have more land in Senegal than we do in Gambia.
Gambia.
Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting.
Exactly. So, and the Senegalese, well, sometimes there's certain lands around this area, actually, to my right, and these lands right here, these these uh, these lands right here. There, there was a time, it's actually farmed by Gambians, like families in Sabi, but then a couple of years ago, Senegalese took the land back and then sold it to the people who farm there.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, they
They
took
take it from you guys
exactly they
and
took
sold
it
it to the
and
people
sold it.
who are using that
No, sold it back to them.
to
The
them
people they took it from.
Senegalese.
Yes, sold it. Interestingly, But
But why?
it's
Why did they do that? Because they are not the owner of the lands.
yeah, and it's like I say, it's international politics, and
Like they are
also
taking
in
it
some
as
ways,
because
in
it's not
some
in the
ways,
Gambia, so they own it.
yeah, in some ways they have the right to. In some ways, it's not really that much moral, but they made sure that they sold it back to the same people who farmed there
So
for
did they like
for decades.
when they sold the land? Did they give him something, or they
Um,
take it completely without compensating them with nothing?
yeah, they just sold it back to them. That's basically it. But
That's
now
it.
at least you could say that they now actually own the place, so no one can come and take it from them.
Because of the border.
Yeah, because now they've bought it. But before their grandfather or their grandmother or their great grandfather or their great grandmother was the first person to farm on the land, so it became the part of their family land, their family property. That's how the land came into the family,
So
and
who bring this divide and rule? Like
like,
you mentioned colonization,
Colonization.
yeah.
yeah, these borders are drawn. I mean, there are places in I think it's Esso where there's a house. I've been told about this story. I haven't seen the house, but someone very close to me told me the story. They said that there's a house in Esso where if you get through the front gate, you are in Gambia. The front gate is in Gambia, but if you get into the building itself, into the to the bungalow, if you get through the front entrance, the last room at the back, if you open the window is in Senegal.
Senegal, yeah.
Yeah, the window is in
Wow.
Senegal. So interestingly, these borders are
So
very remarkable. So someone just drew a line, I guess, basically, and said this is Gambia, this is Senegal,
Senegal.
but
So
we
that means
speak the same languages, we live the same way, we eat the same food,
yeah.
we marry the same way, all religions are the same, everything is the same. You will not be able to distinguish a Senegalese from Bajara and a Gambian from Sabi.
Sabi.
Yeah, you will not be able to distinguish them.
So do they use in Savi? What is the name of the next village?
Bajara.
Bajara.
We are in Bajara right now
Right
because
now
we're in
we are in
Senegal. Yeah,
Bajara, yeah?
Senegal.
yeah,
In Senegal.
yeah.
So do they use Darasi or they use Sefa?
They use Sefa. They use Sefa, but they don't mind Delasi. In fact, for Bajara especially, it is easier for them to do business in Sabi. So they use more of Delasi than they use Sefa.
Okay, they
But
use more Darasi.
they use more Delasi than they do Sefa. But officially, they use Sefa. Yeah, because it's in Senegal. Yeah, but there's a village behind that also does the same thing. They don't do most of their business in Sabi, but they do a lot of business in Sabi. So Dalasi and Dalasi and Sefa
Safer.
are still used in equal, I think, in equal measures perhaps. And then there's a big town called Weningara. I'm pretty sure most people have heard about that town.
In Senegal,
There, yeah,
right?
they only
Senegal,
use
yeah?
Sefa. Yeah,
Wiringara.
yeah. It's one of the biggest markets actually. It's a very
It's
big
about
market.
in Basel, like Wiringara, 2 kilometers.
Yeah, exactly.
Away
So
from
Basa is like the biggest market in URR. So Weringara is their biggest market at this end.
Gambia,
Yeah. So you can see.
the sweet land, land of our ancestors.
Yeah. This shows that you are now getting into Gambia.
We're not getting to Gambia.
Yeah. But these lands are in Senegal too. Yeah. So there are three posts here. The first post is a Gambian post, as you saw at the back. So,
Is Badiara a village?
uh,
Badiara,
yeah.
like
So you
1
could see
kilometer.
Bajara,
Bajara.
and then you could see
Weringara,
Weringara.
yeah.
Yeah. So Weringara is all the way there, and this is Bajara basically.
Bajara.
Yeah,
Cha.
Bajara. It's mostly Fulas too.
They're Fulani people
Ah,
there.
Fulani.
Yeah, they're mostly Fulas, but they also speak Sarauli because Sabi is a Sarauli village. Like I said,
Yeah.
Bajara is mostly in Sabi. Even the next village after that, which is um, Sandaga, is also a Sarauli village, and Sandaga is on the same line the same line to basically the the east is another village, which is it's Jalaga.
Where?
Jalaga. The name is Jalaga. It's also the same.
Jalag.
Yeah, Jalaga.
It's also in Senegal.
Yeah, it's also in Senegal, but it's also a Sarauli village. And next to that is Dibiru. Dibiru is also in Senegal, but it's a Sarauli village. That just tells you, like, it's too much interlocking. We're just
Yeah.
too much together. the divide may create political divide, but not culturally.
So it means we are all one.
Yeah, we all one and the same.
We have families in Senegal, and Senegalese people also having families in
Families in Gambia. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. If you go to any village, every village in places like Dibiru, it's very hard to find a compound where there isn't a Gambian wife.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's very hard to have a village in a compound in Sabi where there isn't a Senegalese wife. Yeah, so we're definitely all in together. So that's the first post, which is Gambia's post, and this is Senegalese post right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, two posts basically. They have one here, and then they have another one at the back. I don't know why they have that.
Two posts.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, the Senegalese people have two posts.
yeah, they have two posts. So I might have to ask why that is and what's the difference. But yeah, I'm familiar with the people there as well because we do a lot of business across in and out of Gambia.
Can you speak French?
Can I speak French? Well, I can curse someone in French.
You can?
I can curse someone's mother in French, but I will not. Yeah. So maybe that accounts for speaking. Bonjour, bonsoir.
Comment ça va?
Comment ça va? Yeah, we can say all that. Ah, merci, merci. La porte, la portante. Yeah. Is that French? La porte, la portante. Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend back in school who would say, who used to always say this, La Porte Parta Action 2010. That was back in 2010, 10, yeah. So he was like, La Porte Parta Action 2010. And he would say that to the French teacher, by the way. Yeah, we had a French test once, and this is not a reflection of my French skills, by the way. It's just the teacher's rules. So I had a very interesting score at our French test. I received my test papers, and I saw a face. I had 0,
Wow.
but I saw a face. He designed a perfect face.
That means he designed your face.
Yeah, no, not my face. I don't know whose face he designed. It's not mine. That's a very.
That was not yours.
Yeah, I thought it was the arts teacher. Turns out it was the French teacher. So he was pretty mad that I choose not to write the answers. I just wrote the questions, and I did very good in the test. But I got 0 because I didn't write the questions out. I just wrote the answers. Yeah. So he did me la propre part action
It's still Gambian farming in this other farm now because I can see all this is groundnut.
Yes. Oh no. All
Fruits, yeah.
from here all the way to Weringara, and in fact past there is mostly groundnuts. Groundnuts, maize, millets, different types of millets. Yeah, but it's all, like I said, it's almost the same. The people eat the same food, they feed the same way, the culture is also the same. Yeah.
Especially in rainy season, what people mostly cultivate is groundnut.
Yeah, it's groundnuts. Groundnuts here. You could see most of the fields. This is all groundnuts, and then at the back is maize. So the groundnuts usually it's just a cash crop. They don't actually make groundnuts to eat. It's just a cash crop that they sell, and then the maize, the millets, these are the ones that are used to feed the family. So every groundnut you see is for business. But in a sad reality, we have to move from groundnuts in the Gambia. That's what I believe, because Gambia is not. Yeah, you have to stop the video because they're asking not. Yeah, we're still in Senegal, so we're just gonna cross the first border, the first Senegalese post. Unfortunately, I had one of the ladies here was her name was Mari, a very really kind lady. So fortunately they informed me that she was working here. They informed me that she's no more with us over here. She's been reposted, I guess. So see, the people at the border were very friendly. In fact, they gave us some maize and corn that we're enjoying right now.
Yeah, right.
Lucky Child, by the way, took Princess's
Yes.
corn.
I was behind the camera.
Well,
They didn't see me, and now you give it to me.
It's official. Lucky Child is a corn piece.
Yeah. You can
No,
see
because
that.
he gave it to me.
No, no.
You give it to me. Okay.
Give me back.
Okay, take it.
What about the one you bit? What about the one you ate?
Return it back, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you mine
Okay.
later.
Okay, thank you. Dangerous.
Yeah, so alhamdulillah. The guys were very, very friendly. They were very, very friendly. That shows you, man, we are all the same.
Same people.
We are all the same people. All these people talking about, Senegal, then they help Gambian and all those other stuff. You're helping Boba, like, yeah. But really, I mean, if you follow the rules, and you should follow the rules,
Yeah.
you're good. So we had to stop the video because maybe they don't just want to be shown in the video, but there's no problem with filming this whole area. So you can see, if you follow the rules, you have no problem. Yeah, yeah. And it's even part of Sharia law. I mean, one of the first rules in Sharia law is to abide by the country's rules and regulations, so long as they don't go against the Quran and Sunnah. So that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. You want to do business in Gambia, and sorry, a very good advantage, or a very big advantage that we have as a business or as a company doing business in Sabi over here, is that we can easily get access to market in Senegal. So we can get access to market in Gambia and also in Senegal. Yeah, actually in Senegal. So we have the market.
Mr. Cameraman.
Falla
Health
fi.
check.
Why? Dafa nekk di record through live. You're right. At the moment, we're now going back to the Gambia, West Africa, the smiling coast of love, the peaceful coast of love. So, right at the moment, anyway, it's nice. It's beautiful. All over the place is green. All what you see, beautiful trees, different kind of varieties of tree, and then the sunlight is nice. It's beautiful here. The wind is nice. All what you hear is birds singing, dancing, flying over everywhere. So we have a nice time anyway. And then subscribe for more powerful videos. Like it for more powerful videos like this one. And then shout out, big up to the princess of Nice Gambia right behind the camera, and my brother Musa, who's in. No, this is a police station.
It goes to the left.
That's a mosque.
To the right is Old Bajar.
Okay.
The village actually, where the people live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit off the border from here.
So they are inside.
Yeah, where people actually live are inside. This is mainly farmland. Bajari, like I said, is a very small village, and the people who live there are very few families, very few.
Okay, but they're all on the
Compound.
bus, or they are on the.
No, they are in Senegal.
In Senegal.
Yeah, they're in Senegal, and it's its own.
Can we give
own
them the
village.
mic and the. Is that okay? Okay, you close the video, right?
Yeah. So, alhamdulillah, thank you guys for showing up. Oh, thank you guys for. Let me start over with the closing. What we have for you guys today, and over the border, there's much more to talk about, much more to show, much more to be inspired about. Over the border, much more to learn, but we're just going to leave it at this point. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up and being part of the journey with us, and shout out to Sidra Salam employees and Sidra Salam family, and alhamdulillah. So thank you to Lucky Child, and thank you to Princess of Nice Gambia, who is having a very good time behind the camera with the corn.
Yeah.
By the way, just so we put that out.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Red, white, blue, white, green for the Gambia motherland, for Senegal and Gambia, our motherland, our fatherland, our ancestors' land. We stand, we strive to work and pray that we may live in big unity. Subscribe for more. Love you all. Thank you.